Hello and welcome everyone. So we have started a new initiative where we are going to discuss the daily current affairs through multiple choice questions. So this will help you to have a objective point of view of the important current affairs topics. All the questions will be based on some important newspapers, for example the Hindu Indian Express, and important government sources like PIB, different central government ministries. So we hope that our first lecture on 1st of July is very helpful to you. So this will be our second lecture. So let's get started. So we have the first question as consider the following statements. Non-banking financial companies or NBFCs are registered under the Companies Act of 1956. Then NBFCs do not include any institution whose principal business is that of agricultural activity and industrial activity. So we have to choose the statements which are correct. So these are the options: 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So here the correct option will be C, both 1 and 2. Both these statements are correct. So let's look at the explanation. Non-banking financial company or NBFCs is a company registered under the Companies Act of 1956. It is engaged in the business of loans and advances, acquisition of shares, stocks, bonds, debentures, securities issued by the government or any local authority or other marketable securities of a like nature. Then it does not include any institution whose principal business is that of agricultural activity, industrial activity, purchase or sale of any goods other than securities, or providing any service and sale, purchase or construction of immovable property. So this has been in news because the government has announced some liquidity scheme for the NBFCs. So moving to the next question, we have consider the following statements with respect to the Central Zoo Authority or CZA. It is a statutory body constituted under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Then, exchange of animals between Indian and foreign zoos is approved by the Central Zoo Authority. Then, it can recognize a zoo, but it doesn't have the power to de-recognize a zoo. So we have to choose the correct statements among them. So the options are 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, or all of the above. So here the correct option will be A, because the third statement is not correct. Why? Let's see. So this is in news because recently the Environment Ministry has reconstituted the Central Zoo Authority. So for the first time, it includes an expert from the School of Planning and Architecture from Delhi and a molecular biologist. Then the Central Zoo Authority is a statutory body. It is chaired by the Environment Minister and it is tasked with regulating the zoos across the country. Then the authority lays down the guidelines and prescribe rules under which animals may be transferred among zoos nationally or internationally. Then zoos are regulated as per the provisions of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 and they are guided by the National Zoo Policy of 1992. Then we have it can recognize or de-recognize a zoo. Hence the third statement is incorrect. Next we have consider the following statements with respect to COGEX 2020. It is a prestigious global leadership summit and festival on world environment and wildlife. It is an annual event held in London. The COGEX awards are given to the best of the best governments in protecting the environmental ecosystem. So we have to choose the correct statements. So here are the options: 2 only, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, or 2 and 3. So the correct option will be A, 2 only. So COGEX 2020 was in news because artificial intelligence enabled MyGov Corona help desk begged 2 awards under the categories of Best Innovation for COVID-19 Society and People's Choice COVID-19 Overall Winner at the recently held COGEX 2020. The awards were won by technical partner of MyGov, GeoHaptic Technologies Limited. It is a prestigious global leadership summit and festival of artificial intelligence and emerging technology held annually in London. COGEX awards are given out to the best of the best in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies across the world. Hence, only the second statement is correct. Next we have, consider the following statements with respect to Accelerate Vigyan. It is an initiative of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. It is to provide a single platform for research, internships, capacity building programs, and workshops to encourage high-end scientific research across the country. So we have to choose the statements which are not correct. So we have the options as 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, and neither 1 nor 2. So here the incorrect statement will be 1. Let's see why. So recently the Science and Engineering Research Board launches Accelerate Vigyan scheme to strengthen the scientific research mechanism. The SERP has launched it to provide a single platform for research, internship, capacity building programs and workshops across the country. It is an inter-ministerial scheme to encourage high-end scientific research and prepare scientific manpower which can lead towards research careers and knowledge-based economy. Next we have, consider the following statements with regard to Unlawful Activities Prevention Act or UAPA. Only an organization could be designated as terrorist under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act or UAPA. Then it empowered the state police to grant approval of seizure or attachment of property when the case is investigated by NIA. So we have to choose the correct statements. So we have the options as 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or none of the above. So the correct option will be answer D. None of these statements are correct. Why? Let's see. So the UAPA Act was enacted in 1967. It aims at effective prevention of unlawful activities associations in India. Under this act, the investigating agency can file a charge sheet in maximum 180 days after the arrest, and the duration can be extended further after intimating in the court. So the act was amended in 2019 to designate individuals as terrorists on certain grounds provided in the act. Earlier, only organizations could be declared as such. So এই অ্যাক্টখন বিরাট কন্ট্রোভার্সিয়াল হয় কারণ it can lead to misuse of power by the government. So most of the intellectuals have criticized this act. Then it empowered the Director General of NIA to grant approval of seizure or attachment of property with the case when the case is investigated by NIA. Earlier, it required the consent of only the state police, which delayed the process. Hence, none of these statements are correct. So we have the next question as, which of the following countries is not a member of South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation or SAARC? Options are Myanmar, Maldives, Afghanistan or Bhutan. So the correct option will be Myanmar. So SAARC is comprised of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, the Maldives, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. What is SAARC? It is a regional intergovernmental organization and geopolitical union in South Asia. It promotes development of economical and regional integration. So if we look at the map, we can clearly see the member countries of SAARC. So there are 8 members in the SAARC. So moving to the next question we have, as per the latest changes, who among the following can opt for postal ballot facility in the Lok Sabha and Assembly elections? People with disabilities, only those who are 70 years of age or above, COVID-19 suspect or affected persons. So we have to select the correct code. 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3 or 3 only. So the correct statement will be 1 and 3. 2 is not correct. Why? Let's see. So in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, the Law Ministry has reduced the limit for senior citizens who opts for postal ballot in the Lok Sabha or Assembly elections. In October 2019, the Law Ministry amended the conduct of election rules to allow people with disabilities and those who are 80 years of age or above to opt for postal ballot. But the Election Commission approached the government to change the rule as the pandemic could continue till the end of the year. On June 19, the ministry notified that those who are aged 65 years or above can opt for postal ballot. So it has reduced the age from 80 years to 65 years of age. While amending the rules on the suggestions of the election commissions, the ministry also allowed the COVID-19 suspect or affected person to use the postal ballot facility. So moving to the next question, we have which of the following provisions are available under the Constitution regarding linguistic rights? Any section of the citizens residing in the territory of India having a distinct language or script have the right to protect it. Then, President may direct a language spoken by substantial proportion of the population of a state to be officially recognized throughout the state. Then, a special officer for linguistic minorities shall be appointed by the Speaker to put forth their views in Parliament. So, which of these statements are correct? Options are 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, and all of the above. So, the correct option will be 1 and 2. The third statement is not correct. Why? Let's look at the explanation. So, Article 29(1) provides that any section of the citizens residing in the territory of India or any part of thereof having a distinct language, script or culture of its own shall have the right to conserve it. Then Article 347 of the Constitution states that on a demand being made in the behalf of President, if he is satisfied that the substantial proportion of the population of a state desire the use of any language spoken by them to be recognized as a state language, then he may specify it to be a state language. Then under Article 350B, it provides that there shall be a special officer for linguistic minorities who shall be appointed by the President to investigate in matters relating to the safeguards provided for linguistic minorities in the Constitution. Then he will report to the President. So moving to the next question, we have the World Investment Report is published by United Nations Development Group or UNDG, World Bank, the World Trade Organization or WTO, United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So the correct option will be the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. So the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development was established in 1964 as a permanent intergovernmental body. It was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 1964 and it reports to the UN General Assembly and the United Nations Economic and Social Council. It has its headquarters in Switzerland. So next we have Zealandia, sometimes seen in news, is located in Indian Ocean, Pacific Ocean, the Southern Ocean or none of the above. So the correct option will be Pacific Ocean. Let's look at the explanation. So recently a team of scientists have created a new bathymetric and tectonic map of Zealandia. New maps reveal details about the size and shape of Earth's lost 8th continent. Zealandia is a narrow microcontinent that is mostly submerged in the southern Pacific Ocean. Zealandia is about half of the size of Australia, but only 7% of it is above the sea level. So what is a microcontinent? It is a landmass that has broken off from a main continent. Zealandia broke off from Antarctica about 100 million years ago and then from Australia about 80 million years ago. So that's it for today. Hope these questions will be helpful to you. So if you like the video, please share it and subscribe to our channel so that you can get timely update of our videos. Thank you.